Alright guys, so I'm back home after that towing trip. Yeah, I didn't quite make it home. I ended up having to pull into my buddy Jim's house and plug in and borrow his 2023 Duramax to get home. So thanks, Jim. Yeah, now I know my range though. Some of you are going to be like, what the heck? And I kind of was too. It gave me a little bit of anxiety. But yeah, I think I got it figured out. Hopefully I'll be able to tow the distances that I need to go, given the wind or the hills or any kind of changing circumstances which we deal with here in Montana. But yeah, as you can see, we're in the new shop here. I've got Matt's Can-Am in here. I'm gonna fix his wiring on his lights for him here. I've changed the diff fluid front and rear. I think he's got like 8, maybe 9,000 miles on this thing. Definitely be looking at his clutches for him. Gonna change the engine oil. Got a bunch of parts here. We gotta put a new BUBBA rope in for him. I'm gonna do that for free since he helped me move in here. And this is back. I gotta do the tune on it still. Get in a blowhole and a really cool temperature sensor. RAZORBACK belt gauge. Basically, it's going to show us the sensor or temperature on the belt, which is important on these with the tracks. So yeah, I'm going to pull off the cover and see how my new seal's doing to make sure it's not leaking. So stay with me. Okay, I've got the cover off using a handy dandy snap-on 3/8 ratchet. Let's tuck this hose out of the way. Nice and clean. That's sweet. This was all covered in gunk before each time. I've had to clean it twice. No fun. So, yeah, looks good and clean in there. See how this world's toughest belt's doing, but he said it might have been chirping a little bit. I want to make sure that all the weights and everything that I put in here are still floating good and doing good in there. I'm just gonna wipe things up. Yeah, looks like it's riding a little high on there. That's kind of up there. Sorry about the camera angles, but it seems like that is riding a little high. But yeah, I'm glad to see that the main crankcase oil seal is holding up. I'll just get them clutches cleaned up, and then I need to move on to installing the blowhole, temperature sensor, and getting a tune dialed in. Yeah, all right. Okay, so I've got the fairlead off of Matt's here. We're gonna put that BUBBA rope in there. Let's see if I can just unstring this thing the whole way, and then we'll see how it looks getting the new one in there. Yeah, keep with me here. Okay, so I'm at the end of the rope here. I'm just gonna get in there and just try and cut this thing with a Stanley knife, get it out of there so I don't have to remove the whole winch plate, as it is all one unit here around the whole winch would just basically come out. I think I can feed it through there and get it attached without taking the whole thing out. Okay, so it turns out cutting it was pretty difficult. I was trying some nips, some dikes there. Wasn't making much of a dent in it, but I just had it wrapped around because I helped Matt do this last time. So with me tugging on it, it kind of unraveled itself and came out of there, so that's good. Time for some BUBBA rope. Let's see where that's at over here. See what we've got specced out, folks. The old BUBBA rope. Looks like some good stuff. Yeah, I'll get the sucker installed here. I'll start feeding it through. Okay, so on these, the red definitely goes in first, as it's got its own kind of built-in end on the other end there, which is nice. And this is kind of an indicator if you're pulling it out, if you get to the red, you don't want to pull any further. So I'm gonna get started by feeding this end through the little hole on the drum on the winch. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna lock in. I've got the new synthetic rope kind of strung up to my vise handle there. Let's see if we can bring her on in. I guess that's not locked in. Let's lock it in, or else it wasn't grabbing. Okay, we're cruising along now, folks. Yep, you can see the little red notches in the new cable. Yep, there's one going by right now. Looks like that's going to be every 5 feet. Yep. Get you wound up here, Matt. I figured I'd fire it up and run his battery down. Of course, he had the reaper open and it was insanely loud, so I closed the reaper, Matt. With the oil changed, diff fluid changed. Get this mirror hooked back up. This is lights dangling there. Yeah, I'm in my pajama pants. Don't judge. Right, folks, Will and Blue here, yes, with Montana Mountain UTV, and we are installing the Razorback technology temperature sensor for the belt temp sense, yeah. So we're gonna do that and wire in the Polaris blowhole, which is basically just a fan that we're gonna put in with a switch. So when you see the temperature get high, you can flip that switch on, and then the fan will come on. It's funny that the rocker switch, but anyways, our spring-loaded rocker, obviously a rocker. So I've got hole drilled here. I'm just routing everything underneath and through the console. I gotta say the General is put together really well. I didn't know that the General had a cool hidden storage compartment underneath the driver's seat. That's pretty handy too, put stuff in there. So yeah, going around the vehicle here. Check out my new Pro Charger installed. Yep, 100 amp circuit for that bad boy. Pretty sweet. Spaceballs. All right. So, coming back here, you'll be able to see where the temperature sensor is. I'm gonna mount that right back in here where it'll read right off the belt in between the clutches. So yeah, that'll be pretty sweet. Yeah, stay with me. We'll get it hooked up. Okay, get that cleaned up. I'm gonna do a little deburr. Yep. I'll use a sharp knife. This is a good razor blade to really square up those edges till the new switch snaps right in there. Got the secondary off here. As you can see, my oil seal looks like it's holding up good. There's no seepage there. Here's the sensor. I want it to poke down through right up here and right on the belt. So I'm gonna go right in between the clutches here and kind of hover right over where the belt goes, giving myself some access still to where it mounts to get it installed without taking everything apart. And there's metal on top. Yes, wonderful. Now, I'll get out the metal bit. No big deal, folks. Yep, no big deal for the metal drill bit, 1/2 inch. Just kind of a little long to get it out of here. So yeah, we'll get the sensor poking through now. I can set my depth. Come on, get in there. It's got to be close. So the old die grinder has been a popular tool today. But yeah, I'm going to set the depth on this thing. I don't want it protruding too far through. If there's any slop in the belt, it's going to want to hit on it. We just want that thing to be able to read the temperature of the belt. Okay, sensors all mounted in, gauges mounted, switches mounted. Let's mount the blowhole off of the intake hose. Right off the clutch cover, it says. So it's gotta kind of get in here. I had this off not too long ago. Come on, left hand. You can do it. There it is. All right. Now, see how this blowhole is supposed to tuck in there. Yeah, that fits there good. See how it fits on this end in here? How well you can see in there. Oh yeah, cool. It fits awesome. Yep, this is upstairs. All right, Blue, let's go back down there and get to work. Woo, 15 steps. Boy, up and see how she's working here. That's nice. Okay. So I did just plug in the blowhole direct into the factory taillight wiring harness. So I would assume this switch would turn it on, and it might turn it on in different phases or different speeds, which would be kind of cool, I guess. But I don't see this customer as somebody who wants to pay attention to or have to deal with turning it on. That's why I opted for plugging it into the factory taillight harness where it pigtails off right here. Kind of nice. You can see I've got the sensor right there. Let's get this clutch spinning once real quick here. We'll make sure that belt's not going to get anywhere near that sensor. So we give it a little throttle in neutral. Belt that came with the Gilliman kit was riding really high on this clutch. You said it's squeaking a little bit, so I think we're gonna have plenty of clearance and still get a good reading on that temperature sensor. See if we can. Oh yeah, it's warming up a little bit here. It's cool. It shows the average temperature and then the high temp, so you kind of know where you're at. There's kind of out of room over here for mounting anywhere. I can still see it out of the corner of my eye if I'm just looking forward here. So yeah, you're gonna gain in temperature right away. That's cool. Now, so we shut it off, that goes off. And then of course the blowhole. Is blowing. Oh, it's down here, yeah, you can feel it blowing around that primary because it actually ducks in and blows around the primary and then comes out up there. Or here, I guess intake here too. Yeah, so I like it, working good. We'll go test it because right now it's snowing, people, and I want this out of here so I can get my truck in. My first package delivered to my new address. And yeah, it's almost 9 o'clock. I'm doing good here. And this stuff I got from Amazon. But it is some badass adhesive 2P10 super glue with a quick activator, so it sets it instantly. Stuff works great. All right, let's get these things moved out and see how the snowstorm's doing. Truck in, Matt's in here all sideways with mine in here still, so that's good. Let's go see how this Polaris feels all warmed up, see what the belt temps do. When we get back, I'll plug this into my new Pro charger on the wall. It's on that 100 amp circuit. It'll be interesting to see how many amps that's kicking out. I'll be able to tell on my app versus the Ford portable charger. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, I like it. All right. Should be good and warmed up. 194. Should be ready to go, Blue. Let's see about a wiper. There's a wiper. Defroster. Yep. belt temp is at 67. Can brighten up that light blue. Yeah, there we go. What's that? Put on high range. 2-wheel drive. Some headlights. That's not it. There we go. Tracks. He's been out walking around. Zigzag tracks. Like a lone wolf out here, coyote or something. Huh. Strange. Grips in the snow. I like it. Some tunes on. See how that belt temp does, folks. People, you can see it's definitely a little blizzardy here. It's funny, there's tracks around there. I don't know if there's a coyote, a lone wolf, or if like it's the neighbor's dog, but he's a wanderer if it's a neighbor's dog. And there's Boo. He's not a wanderer. So I'm going to move the 66. Oh, you got a poop right there in the driveway? There's the 66. So you can move this skid steer. I think he wants to plow with the skid steer. So where do I move the 66?